That was really important for us. We've been in this industry long enough that it's not just the food, it's the experience, it's the anticipation of going there, it's everything. It's really important that you have the right combination,
Yeah, and freshness and seeing it,
freshness and
guaranteed freshness.
Yeah, we don't buy in anything. Everything's made fresh. And we think if you go and have a sandwich in a shop anywhere, you can tell really quickly what's just a jar bought and what's fresh. And hopefully people come in and get sandwiches from us because they can taste that freshness. It's prepped every day, so it's as fresh as we can possibly get it.
I'm Kevin Rivers, and my friend Carlos Miranda and I are two American expats who spend their days either eating or waiting to eat in our adopted home of Edinburgh. We are on a 10-episode journey to learn the stories behind some of the bars, restaurants, and coffee shops that make up this city's world-class food scene. This is Eating and Waiting to Eat.
You once told me that certain sandwiches changed your life. What are some of the sandwiches that you can point to that have, quote unquote, changed your life?
The one that stands out the most for me is the Godmother at Bay Cities in Santa Monica. Everything about this sandwich is just perfect. It's an assortment of different Italian cold cuts with cheese. The dressing they have on it is perfect. And the bread is perfect. My friend and I used to cut class at least once a week to drive like a 40-minute drive to Santa Monica to get this sandwich because it was so good. What other ones have really made an impact on me?
Go.
When I was in my mid-20s, my friend and I took a trip to Cuba. We had 10 pesos to our name. We were just walking around. We were starving. We found this little sandwich truck. One sandwich cost 10 pesos. So we split this sandwich. It was pork or ham with cheese and strawberry jam. It was so good. One of the best sandwiches I've ever had. But what we learned was that there are 2 currencies in Cuba. So we actually paid for 10 sandwiches, but it was well worth it. The other one, there's a chain in the States called Capriati's.
That must be like a California thing because I've never heard
No,
of
it's
chain.
throughout a lot of the U.S.
Really?
I think. I don't know, actually. I know it's not just California because I don't think I've actually eaten it in California.
Okay.
They have a sandwich called the Bobby, which is basically Thanksgiving dinner on a sandwich. Turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce. It's a wonderful, wonderful sandwich. But I think all those sandwiches that I mentioned, the common theme in them is the bread that they were on was so spectacular for that sandwich. So much of it comes down to the bread.
What's the best bread and what's the best sandwich here in town? Or at least one of them, because there is a lot of good places and a lot of amazing places.
So if I'm having bread on its own, the Palmerston sourdough is top class. The baguette at Lannon also can't be beat. But in terms of like sandwiches, one of the best sandwiches in Edinburgh is at Mootz. And they just so happen to be our guest today.
It's almost like laid it up for you.
You put it right there on the platter. But proving my point on a sandwich being so dependent on the bread, they use this bread called schiacciata, which I think I said correctly, which is a Tuscan bread.
I didn't know you spoke Italian.
I actually studied abroad in Italy for a summer to learn Italian, and I learned 0 Italian. I just ate a lot of pasta.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so their bread. It's called schiacciata. It's kind of like a focaccia, but a little bit more chewy, and it's the perfect bread for their sandwiches.
Amazing. Give us some of the vital stats.
Today, we're going to be talking to the co-owners, Andy Mitchell and Chris Thompson. Mootz General Store is an Italian-inspired sandwich shop located at 82 Rayburn Street in Stockbridge. Since opening, Mootz has earned rave reviews from professional critics. It has also earned legions of fans across Edinburgh. It's been open for a little bit more than a year now, and it's been really cool to see the menu grow and expand. One of the things that I really appreciate about what they do is the thoughtfulness that they put into the menu, because they have a sandwich for every appetite. They have some great vegetarian sandwiches. They have your main meat categories, but none of them are your stock standard sandwich. They put so much thought and care into selecting and designing the sandwiches that are on their menu. I have not had a sandwich that is not spectacular.
What's your go-to order there?
My order there really depends on my mood. If I want the hearty Italian meats, I go for the Mootz. Their chicken sandwich has this awesome chutney on it. It's got this sweet, a little bit of spice. Their Cuban sandwich is great. Shout out to Sarah Bear, who is my Cuban sandwich friend. Next time you're in town, we'll go there. They have the turkey sandwich on the menu, but my go-to with turkey is actually to order the Mootz sandwich and replace the mortadella with turkey. and it's quite good.
What's the vibe in there, Kev?
It's light, it's fresh. It very much feels like a proper general store deli counter where you go in and order and watch them make it right in front of you. It's a little bit tight. They have seating in the back now, which is really nice. And there's some seating out front.
It has like a 1980s vibe to it. For me, I love the mix of Italian, Americana, but grounded in Stockbridge in Scotland like mix. And it just really, really works. And nothing else looks like Mootz.
Absolutely. Well, should we hurry up and get on with the episode?
Yes, let's do it.
Thank you both so much for being on.
Pleasure.
Joining us today.
Thanks for inviting us.
Kev is going to throw this in my face, so I'm going to get ahead of it. I am not a sandwich guy. For my sins, I'm just not. I never ate sandwiches growing up. My mom and my dad were always big cooks, so my mom and dad would always make these big meals. And what I took to school the next day was always like a box of leftovers. Everybody was having like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I was the kid. I was like, oh, here's my barbecue chicken and the rice and the beans. And so I never craved sandwiches. But then I was introduced to Mootz.
So I am 100% the opposite. I think sandwiches more than anything else, I have the most core memories around. There's so many sandwiches where I'm like, that sandwich changed my life. So as fellow sandwich people, now that I have an advantage over Carlos here, I want your help convincing Carlos of the genius that is the sandwich. Like, help me explain to him why the sandwich is so great.
Yeah, but that sounds way better. His childhood.
Barbecue chicken and slaw on that. For your, and your packed lunch. Was,
Yeah.
You thought you had the upper
I
hand,
know, right?
Kev.
I think Carlos has convinced me that is like...
You guys are getting out of the sandwich game. We're opening a barbecue
chicken
joint.
place,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's more just a childhood thing, isn't it? You just got brought up in sandwiches.
yeah, so
And-
packed lunch.
Packed lunch.
With sandwiches and crisps and a penguin.
Yeah, as I was growing up, that's how I envisaged sandwiches, that there was just some sort of otherworldly enjoyment of a sandwich that you don't necessarily get from any other form of fast food. If you think back to childhood, everyone just has that instilled in them, unless you're Carlos and you've got gourmet food every day.
I'm not even going to apologize, guys. Whatever.
Oh, no, not at all. Yeah, no.
So hot honey, that's the thing that converted me.
Oh, really? The hot honey on everything.
Because I love all the individual ingredients, but the hot honey in the Mootz.
Yeah.
It's like the glue.
Quite literally.
You need that.
I have corrected people when they order something and they go up to the counter and they're like, oh, okay, I'll have the Mootz. And then the person behind the counter is like, oh, would you like hot honey? And they say no. And I'm like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm like, you have to say yes to that.
Yeah.
And they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, you're gonna thank me. But then you just see them eat it on the other end, and you're just like, that's
So when we opened, actually, it was in the sandwich as standard. We had so many people asking for it off, which is, bizarre.
Wrong.
So we decided to take it off and make an add-on to any other sandwich, and that seems to work well. But you're the hot honey guy.
Yeah, well, I just like the sweet spicy thing. I mix maple syrup and hot sauce for breakfast all the time, almost every morning. Like if I have scrambled eggs, I'll just put some on that 'cause I just like the combination. So,
It's the whole spicy, sweet umami combo, isn't it? When you put it all into a sandwich, it's incredible.
I will say that putting it on salmon doesn't work for me. But you get enough.
Yeah, I could see it not being on the salmon or like on the prawn, probably not the place for it.
I haven't tried the prawn yet. That might get me.
Have you tried anything other than the Mootz?
The huckleberry?
Which is kind of just a play on the Mootz.
Okay, but listen, the reason I got the huckleberry one time is because I think I had eaten there like 3 lunches in a row, and I had gotten so many Mootz after Mootz. So I was like, I need to get something different. So one time I got one other thing, and then that was it.
If I eat out and I know I've been there before, I tend to get the same thing again. So we're not holding against you.
All right, fair enough. Good.
Next time you come in, you're not going to be like, you're not having a Mootz. Okay?
I want to get into how you guys put together the menu because I think it's a really great menu as far as the sandwich shop is concerned. But before we get there, would love to hear your guys' origin stories. Do you have backgrounds in food and how'd you come together to start Mootz?
So my wife and I, Charlotte, we used to have the pantry on the circus. And then within a year, going into the festival, the chef just didn't turn up one day. So I was down and sweating away in the kitchen, not having a clue what I was doing for 2-3 years, and then we managed to hire a couple of good guys to get us through. But geez, that was a real eye-opener that you didn't know how to do the kitchen is a real barrier to doing a restaurant. So it was actually very useful at the time. It was horrible, but with hindsight, it was great.
Yeah, talk about trial by fire,
Yeah.
It was awful.
Literal fire, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
no ramp up, just you're the chef.
You got
now.
open, we went for it. But
Wow.
yeah, Andy came and worked for us after a few years.
I came in I don't want to say saved
the day.
No,
yeah.
like, I came in as the manager, and Chris and I got on like day one, and then we opened a couple other pantries together, and we had events business, and it was hard work, but it was great, you know. And then I went off and worked with my brother for a bit. He had a restaurant up in town called August 37, which unfortunately, when COVID struck, everything just got really difficult. So I worked with him for a while. I think the way that we got into actually chefing was quite similar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When I went and worked with my brother, there was the lockdown, and then there was like a mini lockdown at Christmas.
Yeah.
That period where there didn't seem to be any support, but the government's telling no one to go out. And so we were like, we don't have any customers. We're going to have to close. So we closed for kind of a month and a half. And when we were about to reopen, the chefs all basically notified us that no one would come back. So we were like, okay, well, I guess I'll go in the kitchen and you do front of house. And it was the only thing we could do. My whole background is just front of house managing restaurants. I'd never run a kitchen. So it was the exact same with Chris. I went into a kitchen completely blind and had to just figure it out extremely quickly. But it was, like Chris said, it's the best thing I ever did because it was such an eye-opener. I couldn't believe how much waste there was. The head chef stayed for a couple of weeks after I started just to show me the basic ropes of ordering and all the rest of it. I was like, why are you chucking it out? Food every day? Why are you prepping so heavy? And, you know, I had no idea. And I think unless you work in a kitchen, if you're only front of house and you don't see the workings of a kitchen, you could go a whole career not having a clue what's going on in there.
And if you're paying the bills, it really kind of focuses the mind on how much you're putting in the bin.
100%. So I was like, stop all the prep, stop all the freezing stuff and just stuff that didn't need to be done. So we went from chucking out bags of food every day to this is going to be a tighter on ship because that's the only way I know how to do front of house. Yeah, that's basically how we both got into running kitchens anyway.
So no formal training for either. That's amazing.
No.
Like we're always had a keen interest in food.
Yeah, always cooked, but the reality is very different.
The setup and the prep and the way that you do things, you know, is a ginormous leap from doing stuff at home.
I remember we were buying stuff from Argos, like blenders and things, and they'd last about 10 minutes. And well, don't have 600 quid to spend on a blender. I've got 30 quid. So you're kind of like trying to negotiate your way through all that. But yeah, it was awful. But once we got through it was great. Kind of worked out what was happening. And then we sold the pantry and looking around for something to do.
Yeah, my brother and I sort of naturally parted ways. So yeah, I was just enjoying having a bit of time off. And then, Chris got in touch.
Went for coffee. Came up with an idea.
You're like, you know what Stockbridge needs?
Yeah.
Another sandwich.
Yeah, that's it. I know.
Well, it didn't need a coffee shop. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
I mean, we sell coffee, obviously.
You have to.
You have to. Yeah.
And then so that was it. And so why a sandwich shop?
There was a market for it in Edinburgh, I think. A lot of it was lifestyle. So not having to work evenings. So not having kind of the restaurant open until 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night and getting home at midnight and stuff.
I mean, there have been nights coming home where I'm like, I wish Mootz was open right now.
We had talks about it later.
We run a relatively tight ship. So everyone comes in, everyone does service, and everyone leaves, and you don't have that change in shifts or different shift patterns. Yeah, and I think that it does throw up issues. The worst thing is like getting a call at 10 o'clock at night saying something's happened, and you're just like, oh, come on, I just want to have a night off, you know?
Completely.
And with the bread itself, when we were doing it, we were like, well, we don't want to come in at 5 a.m. So how do we make the bread fresh every day, but not have it so you're coming in super early like bakers? So for us, it has to be lifestyle.
Yeah. I'd never heard of the bread before. Schiacciata.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've been pronouncing that wrong for a year now. But I've never heard of it before until I saw it pasted on the window, right? Yeah. How'd you guys come across it and how'd you choose to make your sandwiches with it?
Well, we went on a trip, didn't we? So we went to Florence and it's like a Florentian.
It's like Tuscan
it says flatbread.
It's Tuscan flatbread. Yeah, and it's different.
But ours is slightly thicker, I think. So we've made our kind of Edinburgh version of it.
Yeah.
Kind of halfway between a focaccia meets a schiacciata, I think.
Yeah. I mean, technically, it's the same way you make schiacciata, but they must have something in the water in Tuscany because it's so hard to get it. You know, we tried a few places when we were over there, and they do something with the bread, which is really hard to replicate over here. I'm guessing it's to do with the flour, but you've got to work with what you've got, and we've got our own product, and that's our only USP. So
works perfectly for a sandwich. It's crusty on the outside. It's kind of chewy in the middle. It kind of holds really well.
We are not bakers.
Quite a steep curve, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. Yeah,
definitely. But we had a couple of guys that kind of knew what they were doing, had that experience.
Yeah, actually, we had a baker that came from Toronto. Started Eric, who was a lovely guy. He had a base level bread experience, so we were able to work with him. And
he was a celiac baker though, so the combo is.
It was a tricky one, wasn't it? Yeah, let's keep the window. We realised that this is the bread that we want to use, and people were doing schiacciata in Edinburgh, but I felt like everywhere we saw it was very much.
It was focaccia, wasn't it?
It was focaccia or pre-made, and it's not been a straight line at all. It's been really all over the shop to get to where we are now.
A lot of sandwich places have a lot of different breads that you can choose from, but obviously it was a conscious decision to just have the schiacciata.
Well, because we make it, and I think just the limitations of our space, if we were to make more, we'd have to set up the kitchen totally different as a bakery. Whereas we do all the prep for everything in that kitchen.
Right.
So it's
we don't buy in anything.
I actually love the fact that I don't have a choice. It's like, this is what you guys do. I'm going here to eat your sandwich, not to build a Lego sandwich necessarily. You go and you just pick your sandwich, and whatever you're getting in the middle, like the top and bottom of it are just unique to you guys, and it's special.
We still tweak it. We're adding different bits and bobs. We were hoping to open earlier, but that original recipe took 4 months to get right. It was just batching it, and with different types of proving and
binning batches.
How much bread did you guys eat in that process?
You just ate bread.
The interesting thing about when we were doing the research, though, in Florence, we went to all the well-known places that do schiacciata, and we didn't think it suited necessarily the UK palate.
I think it works when you're on holiday and you're kind of
and you're standing in the queue and you get sunshine.
That,
But we were very conscious of that UK palate and what works over here, just from our years doing the industry, basically.
Kind of familiar but interesting is what we were trying to go for. Kind of known sandwiches, I guess. Good versions.
So you're telling us, and we're hearing an amazing story of you guys in Italy. I see a very romantic trip. You guys sharing a Vespa, holding hands on a Vespa. Exactly. But so we've talked about the Italian influence, and obviously there's a very clear American influence as well. There's a Cuban sandwich that's always on the menu, and I'd love to hear more about where are your influences from. Was there a sandwich like in New York one time you were like, holy hell, we have to recreate this?
The influences are some Italian, lots of American, and then some British thrown in there as well. The American influence is super important to us. We're not Italian. We're not Italian sandwich shop. We make schiacciata bread because it's a great bread for a sandwich. When we were looking at doing Mootz, we took far more of our influence from America.
I think like culture as well, the UK is probably behind the States in terms of sandwiches, sandwich restaurants and stuff all over the place in America, whereas here we're a little bit more reserved. We don't really have that,
Like America's the sandwich center of the world, isn't it?
So we went on a trip to New York a few years ago.
We tried a few sandwich shops, went to Katz's.
I'm not a walker, but Andy
I love
honestly.
walking. I'll rather walk than take the subway every time. So we basically, we must have
walked and walked and walked. So it's fine. Eat as many sandwiches as you like if you're walking that far.
Exactly. Went over to Brooklyn and tried a few places over there.
Yeah, some hoagies and things like that.
It's just a completely different world of that type of
quality
food.
And what people put in a sandwich, not your ham and pickle.
UK is very cheapish type of meats, thick cheddar cheese. That's classic British sandwiches.
We didn't think Edinburgh had like a cold sandwich, but obviously there's hot sandwich places that do really well, but we thought there was a little bit of a market there for it.
Do you know what American does the best? They cut their meats super thin.
In
this country, they don't do it.
Because mozzarella is lovely when it's super thin, but it's slightly thicker. It's like
it's like chewing rubber. There just seems to be something about it that just no one kind of clocked onto. It really used to annoy me. So that's our thing. All the meats are super thin, piled high. It's layered. Tomatoes as well. They're all cut on the meat slicer and just super thin, and then building the right kind of flavor.
That's Andy's thing, isn't it? Super thin.
It needs to be.
Got to see through it.
Exactly. Hold it up.
Hold it up
really
to the light.
Super through it.
Throw it home.
It's definitely one of those small details.
And it's the show.
Yeah,
do that better than anybody else. That kind of the whole thing, the whole process, standing in the queue, guys shouting at each other, throwing stuff around, loading up the sandwich. And away you go.
That's something that we felt was definitely missing in Edinburgh. Everyone just pre-makes their sandwiches. It doesn't matter where you go. And all the nice places that we really like, they all pretty much do the same thing. You just have the sandwich and you just pick the one. So we definitely saw a kind of avenue where hopefully we do a good sandwich. It's kind of fresh and tastes great, but it's the experience that you get when you're waiting for the sandwich. You want a bit of show. It has to be an experience. You know? Like my brother came in and got a sandwich when we first opened, and he was just like mesmerized by us cutting the meats and making it all. And you could see everyone just doing the same thing, just standing there, just staring, And that was really important for us. We've been in this industry long enough that you know it's not just the food, it's the experience, it's the anticipation of going there, it's everything. It's really important that you have the right combination, you know.
Yeah, and freshness and seeing it, you know.
Freshness and
guaranteed freshness.
Yeah, we don't buy in anything. Everything's made fresh. And we think if you go and have a sandwich in a shop anywhere, you can tell really quickly what's just a jar bought and what's fresh. And hopefully people come in and get sandwiches from us because they can taste that freshness. It's prepped every day, so it's as fresh as we can possibly get it.
I've been going to Mootz since you guys opened. Like I was saying earlier, the menu is so well-rounded. I like to change up what I order based on how I'm feeling in it. I just feel like there's a sandwich for every vibe. But the early menu, you had a much smaller selection and you guys built it out from there. So I'm wondering how you ultimately chose and came up with the menu that you have today and where you're going with it.
Well, because we prep everything, you've got to be careful that you don't overpromise and then you're scrambling around trying to prep. And we started with a really small team, so you only want to prep to what your team's capacity is. And, you know, obviously it kind of evolved to where it is now. But I mean, if all we were doing was just buying in big tubs of pistachio pesto, it'd be like, fine, we'll just, you know, expand to as much as you want and hands on this. But we just didn't want to go that route.
I do think there's an alchemy to how you guys do it that really makes it very unique. Steve talked about the staff a lot and the show of it. And I feel like that is part of the Mootz experience. I started my career in New York City. And so I spent a lot of time in bodegas or going to the local deli. And it is that assembly line component to sandwich building in front of you, where you stand in the queue, you get up, you order, and then you stand in the queue and you move along as like a group of people prepare your sandwich. And in the moment, you don't necessarily think about it as a show, but it is part of the whole Mootz experience. And I have seen people just stand there in awe of watching the sandwich get created at each station, almost oblivious to the fact that people are like walking around them. I'm like, dude, I want to play Pac-Man. If I could expand the restaurant like a meter wide so I could just stand there and follow up, it would be amazing.
Same.
Yeah.
Honestly,
The
just
depth of that
bumping
bottleneck.
arses constantly.
You're doing your own version of it, but that is also that part of that American sandwich shop experience, especially in a place like New York City. You go to a great deli in Brooklyn and you are like butt to butt with like a whole bunch of other people. Tell us about the name and the general store concept, because I think it started more like a general store. Let's talk us through that.
It's slang for mozzarella.
The original plan was to have the sandwiches and then have a mozzarella bar.
Yeah, we're going to have like nice full burratas, and you could build salads with toppings and figs and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and,
sounds nice actually.
But we opened and almost immediately it was just like bang, bang, bang. And we did offer the salads and 0 people ordered the salads. So
People were getting the salad and then asking for bread on the side.
we really quickly realized that it was just the sandwich was the thing. It helped us because I think people that do too much end up missing stuff or something doesn't work particularly well. So just having that one focuses the mind. General store part though.
Yeah, well, so we've got the space. We did think we would have.
Because when you started, you had some pantry
bits and
goods.
bobs, yeah.
It's still something that we're planning. We've got these ideas like, I want to do bespoke chopping blocks.
Yeah.
Chris is just...
I just think, how the hell do we do that? You got a queue out the door and somebody wants a bespoke chopping.
I know. Can we get that wrapped?
Yeah. Can we get some bread to go with that?
But we've got this full list of stuff that we want to do with the general store. Once we get our
Ducks in a row, yeah.
we will do it. So
Yeah, because you guys had the milkshake machine? Or
Yeah,
what
we
was
had
it?
the milkshake machine, which was lovely, really nice milkshake. We just weren't shifting them. I think Scottish Summer didn't really help us last year.
And I didn't like the fact it blocks the
It's a
front.
beast of a machine. That
It didn't really fit in. It's tricky. You've got to have the right flow.
I think if we'd had it when we built the bar, we could have factored it in and had
right.
it in a proper space, but it's just so big.
Yeah, so now it's just at home and you just make milkshakes for
Milkshakes
each
every
other.
night.
You don't have a stove at home anymore. It's just the milkshake machine.
Just a milkshake machine. Don't even pretend like you put it in something. The mouth goes under and just like...
No wheezing the juice. It's a deep cut. Never mind. You guys have had a lot of success really early on. What has the reception been like so far from the community and from the food scene here?
Pretty good. Get a lot of repeat custom.
Yeah, the customer is so important to us. Honestly, we're so humbled. It's really, really important. Like, we love the fact that we get repeat customers and new customers finding us. And when they turn up to get a sandwich and they've not been in before, they get an excitement and they tell us. And that's amazing,
Every now and then you get 12 quid for a sandwich.
Have you seen the size of the sandwich?
It's like 3 meals.
Yeah, and the small sandwich is as big as any normal sandwich you get.
I eat for Queen and Country, and I had to stop ordering the big one.
Oh, yeah.
It was originally just the big
It was
one,
just
right?
the big one,
yeah.
and then people kept asking to get them half, and we just quickly realised that we can offer the 2 sizes, and it works quite well for us. We don't want to feel like we're overcharging. We charge what we charge, but it's the best hams you can buy.
Yeah.
We use the best butchers in Scotland, and then we prep everything fresh. So it's the best ingredients you can get.
Half heavy relative to other places for that sort of stuff.
So in preparation for all these interviews, Kevin and I take time to scour the internet, look at other interviews, social, like what are people saying? And I was looking at your TripAdvisor reviews. And there's some guy on TripAdvisor, and it's one of my favorite things that I've ever read about a restaurant. And it just said, "This is the best sandwich I've ever had in my life, and I'm 61 years old."
Amazing.
Right. Honestly, I'm still blown away that people like it.
That's amazing.
And so you talked about getting meats from Scotland. Is most of your sourcing locally?
We import our prosciutto, cotto, and mortadella from Italy, and the stracciatella, that comes from Italy as well. You can get that in the UK, but it just isn't the same. So we import like 30 kg a week or something. It's just bonkers. I mean. And then the other meats, the turkeys, the pastrami, the chicken that we buy from, we think is the best butchers in Scotland. And then we cook it all in-house. So
We tell brine.
they brine it. Yeah, we've got our own unique
recipes
brine
and stuff like
and rub for the porchetta. They do that, and then we cook it all in-house, and we control the temperature. Just so you get the kind of juiciest meats possible. That's really important to us as well, that we source as well as we can. So.
Yeah. It's really incredible to hear how much of it you guys do in-house yourself. So many sandwich shops, it's easy to just order everything in. Like you're saying, whatever I can get off the shelf. So to have that level of control over everything, it really makes sense why Mootz really stands apart.
Yeah, and they get, like, say, with the bread, you can buy schiacciata frozen, pre-sliced, and it looks great.
Places use it in Edinburgh, we know that, but it just isn't us. And the problem with buying in pre-baked frozen is that anyone can do it.
And then you can control everything, especially if you're cooking your own turkey and your own chickens and things. Then,
Yeah, and if there's a shortage in Italy of frozen schiacciata, it's fine for us. We just need the flour. So.
And what's the ambition? Where are we going? You're in Stockbridge, and you got lines at the door, especially on the weekend. Are we talking like a Mootz empire? If you guys ever open in Canary Wharf in London, I think you would print money.
So we're actually in the process of opening up Glasgow.
Oh, wow.
We've got a spot on Byers Road, similar layout. So we should be opening that end of July, hopefully.
Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be like we opened up 3 months ago. So.
Yeah, we've been focusing a lot through there. We love Glasgow. It's such a cool place.
Yeah.
People are amazing. Getting so many people coming in, asking us what we're doing and wishing us all the best, and then telling us that it's not going to work.
And
this
you can't
place
charge
never
this and
works.
charge that, yeah.
We can't. The product itself is going to be the same, but obviously we have to think about the pricing. But we're really happy where we are, and it's got that same sort of Stockbridge vibe actually, and it's just maybe more amplified. There's more just going on, and there's lots more people. Obviously, it's a much bigger city, but yeah, we're really excited about it.
So yeah, long term, we haven't really worked it out. I think we'll do a couple, see how we go.
See how we go. Well, Chris is from St Andrews, so
Yeah, I'd love to do St Andrews.
yeah.
The Little Scottish Empire. And it's something, too, that you could see having a few locations around Edinburgh or throughout Glasgow.
Yeah, we looked at sites in Edinburgh when we were thinking about doing another one. But we don't want to cannibalize the product. We don't want to feel like there's another one up the road that takes away from us. And I think too many places maybe go down that road. We've seen plenty of people make mistakes, and we've been doing this long enough that we know what we are, we know what we've created, and we're pretty comfortable with the direction that we want to go in. So
A little bit of scarcity helps.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So we have a few wrap-up questions that we ask all of our guests. So you want to take it away?
Yeah. All right. First thing that comes to your mind. What's the hidden gem on your menu that not enough people order?
I'd say the vegan tomato. We make our own vegan andouille, which took ages, by the way, to get right. It's got like 20 ingredients in it, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great. It goes on anything as well.
It goes on anything. Yeah, Chris puts on all those different things.
It's like the secret hot honey on the menu.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. The courgette's good too, actually. Doesn't get ordered
Yeah, the
enough.
two
So
veggie vegan ones.
Yeah.
Because everything else is really popular, but those two are amazing.
Awesome. So when a friend comes to visit Edinburgh, what restaurant do you take them to?
My best pal is Dan Bentley. He owns Chorito Cantina down at the bottom of Leith Walk on the left, and it's phenomenal. It's the best tacos in Edinburgh.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. And it's tiny. It's got like 12 covers, and the kitchen's in front of you at the bar, so you just sit. I helped him out for a while behind it, and it's just everyone just stares at you. It was a good setup for Mootz, to be honest, because everyone just stares at you, no one talks, and they just watch you making these tacos, and it's like, can you stop staring at my back? Him and his girlfriend Dawn, they basically run it themselves, the two of them. But it's similar to us; they just want a lifestyle, so they just open when they want.
I feel like that's something that's really interesting, that you can have a place in Edinburgh and still have a lifestyle outside of it and be successful. So what would be yours?
I'd love a curry, so I'd go somewhere like Dishoom. That's pretty. It's pretty Route 1, but you can't go wrong.
No,
nice
can't go wrong
ambience, nice drinks.
Yeah, it's awesome. The bar's awesome. That kind of Raj speakeasy style. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Fab. All right. Okay.
But I thought you were going to say, what's your restaurant?
The one I always take people to.
Yeah.
I have a lot. I mean, not because you're sitting here. Like, there's no friend that has come to visit me in the last year that has not eaten at Mootz.
Is that right?
That's what. So you guys are definitely there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, it's pickles. Hate pickles. Any sandwich or hamburger, I'm like, no pickles. What condiment are you guys always like, I will not eat that in my sandwich?
I mean, I eat pretty much everything. I can't think of something that I've had taken off. Chili jam. Really hate chili jam. Yeah. I think that would be my thing. Or people put way too much on normally.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Sweet and
After he's like, I eat everything. I have such a refined palate. Oh, chili, I fucking hate that.
We did a banh mi sandwich as a special, and we were trying to do this sauce, and you were like forcing it down my throat.
Yeah, it's really popular.
And
everyone loves it.
Was it XO?
XO sauce.
Oh, and there's something in that just makes me want to boat. It's like a fermented shrimp taste or something. I can't have it at all. It's absolutely disgusting. But that's just me. I know people love it.
What about
Chris
you, Kev?
loves it as well.
Olives. If olives are on something, that's all I can taste. So I just can't. I think I keep trying things with olives on them to try and make myself like them. But yeah, I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
So final question. Between rice, bread, and pasta, you can only eat one for the rest of your life. Which one are you having?
I mean, that's an absolutely ridiculous question.
Yeah, we should say bread.
You'd assume you'd say bread, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that was my assumption. I was like, okay, these guys are going to be like...
It's got to be pasta, isn't it? I think pasta's...
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
I would choose rice. I think I would, because I can just nail that all day long. Whereas, I'm just kind of whatever. But
pasta, you can make a nice bowl of pasta. You can do so much of pasta.
I mean, I love pasta, love bread, but rice, I could eat rice every meal.
We need to
same.
start keeping score.
We should keep score. This is a game that my kids play at home all the time. Since they were little, every time anybody comes around the house, it's the best conversation starter. Yeah. People have opinions. People will tell you why. You could drag that out into like a 47-minute long conversation. I mean, we've done it at bars with people. Like we play it all the time.
It's turned into my favorite question. It's kind of like star signs. You tell a lot about a person and their personality based on their answer to that question.
I love astrology. I try and convince him it's going to be fine. We've got Jupiter conjunct in bad, and he hates it all. You know, well, let's not go down that road. That's a whole other conversation.
Take that on your chili jam and shove it. Like.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for being on. It was great to have you on.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's really been great getting to hear your guys' stories. So.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you to Andy and Chris for doing that. It was so great of them to take some time out of their day and come talk to us and share their stories. What absolute gems they are.
100%. They're such nice guys. Also, when they walked into the recording studio, they had 2 bags of Mootz sandwiches. And if I didn't love them before, they have me forever.
Right.
My affection is very easily bought. And especially if it's some kind of pork product, you have me forever.
We both know. And Mootz, your thing is the Mootz sandwich. So were there any that you tried in what they brought us that you were like, oh, maybe I'll branch out a little bit and try something else?
Every single sandwich that they brought us, I loved, really did. But I am not a branching out kind of guy. When I like a thing, I love a thing. So I'm always going to go with the slightly smaller Mootz with hot honey. And then I'll take a bite out of yours, and it's a win-win situation.
All right, so who's our next guest?
Our next guest is a restaurant that is very near and dear to my heart. Another place that I always take people to, a place that you and I have lunch on a regular basis. It's the Palmerston. And I'm so grateful that Lloyd and James decided to do this podcast. I'm literally wearing a Palmerston t-shirt as we record this.
I know, I'm really jealous of it, actually.
I'll buy you one. One. We can match next time. I couldn't be more excited. It's one of my favorite restaurants. And we had so much fun talking to those two. And it's a good story, too.
It's a great story. And there's so many places that former chefs from the Palmerston have opened that have become very successful establishments in Edinburgh.
It seems like it's been part of the fabric of Edinburgh food forever. And they really haven't been around that long. For them to have achieved that level of success speaks volumes of them as people, as chefs, as restaurateurs.
Yeah, it does not get much better. So until next time, listeners,